friends. I am Ankit. The way tensions are rising in the world these days, the way warlike situations are developing, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, Iran, or Israel, there's a constant atmosphere of war. Perhaps this has been the longest war since World War II, and it's possible that in the future, the world could convert this war into World War III if something serious happens or more countries become involved. Whether Israel, Gaza, Russia, any of these countries unite and join forces, the world could be on the brink of World War II. Perhaps this period of war, which has been going on for so long, since World War II, is gradually becoming a matter of concern. Until recently, the clouds of World War II were looming, fearing that the day Iran and Israel clash, there could be trouble. That America and Russia clash now, but the situation is changing. Situations are constantly changing from just a few days of war to longer periods. In such a scenario, warfare technology is a hot topic. In this regard, the modern drones that have replaced fighter jets have transformed the warfare system. Fighter jets are being replaced by much more cost-effective drones, or flying missiles that are being launched by changing their trajectory and transforming them into missiles within drones. Overall, the need for sixth-generation fighter jets is becoming increasingly felt. So you might ask, we haven't even gotten the fifth-generation fighter jet yet, so where is the talk of sixth-generation fighter jets coming from? Moreover, who has the sixth generation? What is sixth-generation fighter jet? These are all questions. Today's news, which you and I are discussing, is because India is in talks with countries to develop sixth-generation fighters, with the intention of developing them jointly. Until now, we have been making progress. But this time, India is in discussions about developing sixth-generation fighter jets. But today, we have the option of either joining the UK-Japan group or joining the France-Germany group. Such headlines are currently being made. So let's understand these news in detail. Let's delve into the significance of why India is interested in sixth-generation fighter jets. But before that, it's important to understand what sixth generation means. I'll discuss that with you in today's session. But before that, I have a request for you, and that is, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, friends. Whenever we bring you news, many of you shower us with your love, but you forget to subscribe. There's no charge for subscribing. You just have a click button at the bottom of our YouTube channel. Click it. This makes it easier for us to reach you and increases our strength. When we mention that you're with us in our presentations, it creates a bit of a strong impression. Okay, so let's move on. First, let's discuss fighter jets. Why has this topic become a topic of discussion today? Let's understand this. Actually, our Parliamentary Defense Committee, the Standing Committee on Defense, recently recommended to the Ministry of Defense that India should formulate a concrete strategy for the development and acquisition of sixth-generation fighter aircraft. These will be essential in India's modern warfare. So, as recommendations are being made and the Indian government is discussing which countries to partner with to develop this technology, we are taking this topic forward in today's session. Because today's warfare will be influenced by future technologies. AI is already used in technology. Drones are also being used. Therefore, how to integrate AI technology with drones to create fighter jets is a major topic of discussion for the sixth generation. But before we proceed further, let's understand a little about the generation-wise aspects. Look, generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 isn't based on age, meaning the second or third generation. We'll arrive after so many years of the first generation. It's more like when technology undergoes a radical change. It's counted as a generation. First generation and second generation fighter jets were used solely for dropping bombs. They didn't even fire missiles, and they were loaded with bombs. They simply dropped them wherever they went. In return, they didn't even have the capability to aim and hit a target. They were first generation fighter jets. Generations began to change. After that generation, when third generation aircraft began to arrive, missiles could be fired from a distance, meaning targets could be hit even where the aircraft was flying. You die. This is known as beyond visual range. This became a major topic of discussion in the 1960s and 70s. It was called the third generation fighter jet. Previously, you'd be flying in the air and a bomb would be dropped from above. This was the way it was done. Then they dropped the shells as far as they could not be seen. This became the third generation. The fourth generation is the one that is being used the most in this world right now. 4, 4.5, and the fifth are the most extreme ones. They are the ultimate ones at this time. A lot of things have been added to these generation fighter jets right now. For example, an advanced radar system has been added. Multi-role facility has been added. They can do various tasks. Fly-by-wire technology has been added. Radar technology has been made very advanced. The technology to detect enemy radar has been added. Is anyone tracking you? This has been added because what was the most important thing, right? In the past, when fighter jets were available, they would fly into enemy territory, drop bombs, and return, assuming no one would hit them. However, over time, it became clear that the enemy had developed the technology to identify and kill you. They developed missiles that could spot you and shoot you down in the air. To detect this, they developed advanced radar systems that performed radio detective ranging. Radio waves were emitted into the sky, and a fighter jet would be detected, and then it would be targeted. This kind of thing didn't happen before. Over time, as things began to evolve to target fighter jets, it was decided that when a fighter jet was flying, it should know where the enemy was tracking it. So fighter jets with radar-capable systems began to be built, so they could at least know the enemy was coming from and could see where the system was operating. So such things began to be incorporated into the fourth generation. A generational change occurred. Their 4.5 minus generation systems like the Rafale, it began to dawn on them that these aircraft are equipped with a wide variety of features. They are well suited for dodging the enemy, carrying advanced missiles, and flying at very high speeds with a low weight. In a dodge fight with the enemy, they are adaptable in many ways. But the challenge with these aircraft is that they can be detected. Now the problem arose how to create an aircraft that cannot be detected. Undetectable means that it cannot be detected by radar. So if it cannot be radar, what kind of fighter jet would it be? Stealth technology began to be developed for such fighter jets. Stealth technology means technology in which the radio waves sent by the radar cannot detect you. So they said, okay, sir. So work on stealth technology began. Now the world is developing a generation of fighter jets equipped with stealth technology. China has the J-20. America has the F-2. Russia has the Sukhoi 57. We don't even have these fifth generation fighter jets right now. We are developing them through our AMCA program. We are trying to develop them through our advanced medium combat system, but we don't have them. And the sixth generation fighter jet that you and I are discussing. Just imagine in the future, it's possible that the radar didn't detect it, but someone turned off your GPS system on. So how will you determine your location? Through quantum computing. Second, using AI technology, you created a fighter jet that didn't even have a pilot on board. He said, what are you talking about? Hey, the drones that are flying these days are flying without pilots. Now, what if fighter jets also start flying without pilots? So fighter jets can fly without pilots, and advanced heavyweight aircraft with AI technology can develop the capability to identify and attack enemy targets. This would be considered sixth generation. Fifth generation aircraft, for example. Sixth generation without a pilot means the father of drones capable of evading the enemy, disappearing and wreaking havoc. So development is underway on that kind of technology, right? What happened in the meantime when the fourth and fifth generation games were underway was that drones transformed warfare globally. Drones are pilotless guided aircraft. They're called UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. They fly and destroy enemy targets. So the sudden change in the world was two major changes. One was artificial intelligence, which tells you if there's heat somewhere or if there could be an enemy nearby. All these things, and the second was drones. So how can we combine these two to advance fighter jets? That's the sixth generation, right? Efforts are underway regarding India's Air Force. There's a wide variety of data available on the market, but the most convenient data suggests that India's air power isn't just limited to the Air Force. Our Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and paramilitary forces also possess it. Adding all of these, we have over 2,000 aircraft. We have aviation equipment that is flying in the air, right? By doing this, India can be called the world's fourth largest air force or military or defense power that possesses fighter jets. And India is among the countries that fought wars using fighter jets since World War II. Whether we fought the 1971 war with Pakistan or the Kargil war, we know how to use our fighter jets to defeat our fighter jets inflicted on the enemy during Operation Sindoor is a topic of discussion. Wherever we went, we defied the enemy's numerous systems, whether in remote areas, carrying out surgical strikes, or targeting their air bases. These have been the strengths of the Indian Air Force. The most advanced fighter jets currently of our Air Force in terms of aircraft quality. 4.5 CR. the Rafale and Sukhoi 30. Sukhoi 30 and Rafale, which are 4.5 generation fighters, do not possess strong technology. Therefore, among 5th generation fighter jets, the American F-35 Sagem Megret Barrett Zero and Russia's Sukhoi 57 remain in demand. India has a strong team of fighter jets, including the Mirage 2000, Jaguar, and Tejas. But how many fighter jets do we have? India has all these fighter jets available, but these fighter jets are not sufficient. It is said that if India were to against both China and Pakistan simultaneously, we would need 42.5 squadrons. Squadrons are defined as units of similar fighter jets, which is called a squadron. A squadron consists of approximately 18 fighter jets. India needs 42.5 such squadrons, which is why we aim for 42 squadrons if we are fighting a war against both Pakistan and China simultaneously. What is the current situation? Since our MiG-21s were retired in September 2025, we have 29 squadrons available. This means we are currently 13 squadrons short of our requirement. 13 squadrons short. This means we are currently short of approximately 5.25 fighter jets. We need this many fighter jets to meet our needs. If we need fighter jets, it's obvious that they'll be 5th generation or more advanced. 6th generation and at least 4.5 minus generation. Tejas will fulfill our 4.5 minus generation requirement. Procurement is underway. We will build approximately 180 Tejas fighter jets with the help of HAL, equipped with American engines. Additionally, if we talk about the Rafale purchase, there's talk that India could also purchase 114 Rafale fighter jets. However, that's currently a matter of debate. We already have Rafale, but it's not making enough squadron runs. There's also talk that India is considering the Sukhoi 57 and F-35 as options for the 5th generation fighter. But in the midst of these discussions, we also need to be prepared for the possibility that by the time we procure, these people may become secondary in the world, meaning they're not even discussed. People have moved on to the 6th generation. So we need to move forward and monitor whether or not we will have access to 6th generation fighter jets. And what's interesting is that we already have 29 fighter jet squadrons, meaning we have 25 squadrons and Pakistan has 25. So we need to be fully prepared against the enemy. This is one. That's why we're talking about purchasing fighter jets, right? Pakistan has 25 squadrons, India has 29. China has 66 squadrons. So India needs at least 42 squadrons to fight on both fronts. So we currently have slightly more squadrons than Pakistan. We need to prepare for both fronts. That's why procurement is essential. Okay, sir. So how did India's squadrons fall? To put it simply, the MiG-21 has just been retired. This is because of this. Otherwise, we had 39 squadrons at one point. Around 1999. But for now, our fighter jets are being retired and the procurement of new ones is ongoing. Consequently, we need more fighter jets. That's right, sir. You might recall that there was a discussion about the US trying to sell the F-35 to India, and Russia was suggesting that they buy the Su-57, its 5th generation fighter jet. But India hasn't made any decisions on either issue yet. India is developing its own 5th generation fighter jet under the AMCA and is attempting to develop its own engines. Because only a few countries in the world possess the expertise to develop engines for fighter jets. Therefore, India is pursuing the AMCA project on its own. Previously, it was managed by H&T. Private companies like L&T and Tata have been involved to develop prototypes. We have allocated a budget of 15,000 crore to enable India to develop engines for 5th generation fighter jets. We have invested in technology development and preparations are underway to ensure that companies like Tata, L&T, and BFJA jointly spearhead India's AMCA prototypes of 5th generation fighter jets to India by 2027 and preparing a squadron by 2025. So, sir, let's talk about which countries in the world possess 5th generation fighter jets. The United States, Russia, and China are the major countries with 5th generation fighter jets. This means they possess the ability to disappear. This stealth technology allows them to remain undetected by the enemy. But as far as the 6th generation, which uses stealth to conduct modern warfare is concerned, China possesses a 6th generation fighter jet E. Such things are often said. Why? Because if a fighter jet can't be detected and flies undetected, then it would be a miracle. Even the United States hasn't yet developed a 6th generation fighter jet. It's said that the B-21 bomber America has is not a B-2 bomber. I'm talking about the B-21. The dropper, which is said to be 6th generation, is a claim made by the United States. However, this remains to be seen, as it's being said that in the future, drones will fly alongside fighter jets to mislead the enemy. Instead of GPS, they will use quantum computing, as the world is now learning to jam GPS. Discussions regarding its development are rife, and it's crucial that India collaborate with other countries to develop a sixth-generation fighter jet. As options, we have a group consisting of Britain, Italy, and Japan called the Global Combat Air Program, and another consisting of France, Germany, and Spain called FCS, Future Combat Air System. India has expressed its desire to join the French group because of the lack of division of work between Germany and France. In such a situation, if Germany drops out, India has already told France to include us in its group. We will work with them on investments. Pakistan is also engaged in China with China. But it is important for us to focus on ourselves as the global race for sixth-generation aircraft is currently underway. The future will be about pilotless aircraft flying. How to fight against direct energy weapons will be intertwined with all of this. Therefore, India is now looking for allies in sixth-generation fighter jets. It is looking for government funding. It is looking for willpower. Moreover, India is now realizing the need for this as war is now at its doorstep. Looking at the current situation, it seems unlikely that any country will remain untouched by war for long. People's sensitivity to war has almost vanished. Any war that is underway later turns into a counting out. It's been going on for so long. For example, you don't even want to get updates on the Russia-Ukraine war today. It's been going on for 4 years. Similarly, the one that's been going on for the past 21 days is Iran-Israel. Because we're being affected. We're discussing oil and gas. If it continues for a few more days, it's going to be a crisis. In such a situation, you need to be prepared for a situation like this to happen to you tomorrow. Because the world will think that a ceasefire is underway, and there will be no talk of a ceasefire. That will be a cause for concern. Therefore, it remains to be seen which of these two options India chooses. For the time being, India must keep an eye on both international groups. But India has expressed its interest in the Future Combat Air System. This is currently being revealed through news reports. India pursuing the Future Combat Air System, and we are in ongoing discussions regarding this. Okay, so now the decision is pending. The government will do so at its own level. This was the update I shared with you. If you liked the information, please share it with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much.